The Exit Tourbillon is of course a very elegant watch. There's a lot of finishing in it. The guillotine dial, I really like the looks of it. But it's also quite good value for money, if I may say so. Just under 35,000 euros. You have a tourbillon in a gold case that has very nice dimensions. But also the finishing of the movement is really nicely done. Can you tell a bit more about the finishing, especially about the finishing of the backside of the movement?
Absolutely, we have the open back to be able to appreciating the movement itself, and a finishing that we've been using for the first time, which is a Côte de Genève in eventail, a fun style, which gives the watch a very precious and very sophisticated look.
And hand finishing is something that more or less goes with this building that we're in, sitting in right now.
Absolutely.
The bridge of the Exit Tourbillon is hand finished. Do you know how much time it takes to finish such a bridge by hand?
But if we take the bridges that we have in the complication of Villeret, it takes around 1 week to make the polishing of a single bridge. Both to make to get the black polishing of it, but also to give the bridge this particular rounded shape, which is linked, for example, with the geosphere, the shape of the two hemispheres that are also hand painted and present on the dial.
And then we're talking about this watch. There's one bridge, a tourbillon bridge in the Montblanc collection that looks even more spectacular, and that's the curved bridge of the geosphere with a cylindrical tourbillon. That looks quite difficult to finish. Can you tell more about that?
Absolutely, it takes indeed a lot of times and craftsmanship. It's a handwork which takes almost 2 weeks, which is completely handmade to get a mirror polishing. To get this very particular rounded shape of the bridge itself, which matches with the two hemispheres that are present on the watch and are hand painted. So we have also a very beautiful ensemble of métier d'art on the watch itself, and the polishing is done with the particular technique which really comes from traditional watchmaking and which comes from this valley in particular.
The bridges are also hand finished?
Absolutely. All the watch is handmade and is made by a single watchmaker who does it from the beginning to the end. It takes between 2 and 3 months to be able to finishing a single watch. And each watchmaker really gives a particular unique soul to the watch itself, in such a way that if one day we have to work again on it, it will be the particular watchmaker, master watchmaker who did that particular watch, who will touch it again, because he knows exactly how the small réglage have been done on that particular one. So any watch is absolutely unique in this sense.
So through the case back you can see the movement, the backside of the movement, the bridges, also beautifully finished.
Absolutely. One of the key characteristics of the Villeret high-end timepieces from Montblanc is the fact that everything is hand decorated. The angling of all the bridges is handmade, and even the perlage is absolutely handmade, and not only the surfaces which are appearing are hand decorated, by also all the hidden one. So the decoration is really pushed to the limit as a piece of art.
It's beautiful. On your wrist is also one of the watches that shows a beautiful finish.
This is part of the 1858 product collection, and is a chrono mono pusher, is the movement 1629, which takes back the shape of a movement coming from 1912, with very sophisticated shapes of the bridges, with a beautiful end finishing once again, and with the very particular shapes of the bridges, and with the presence of the Minerva arrow also physically on some of the parts of the movement.
We're talking about the devil's tail, as it's called.
Exactly, how collectors call it, absolutely.
Many watch collectors consider this one of the most beautiful chronograph movements in the world. How is it as a brand to own such a legacy and to be able to share that with collectors?
That is a fantastic legacy that we are absolutely keeping alive, and which is nurturing in a unique way our maison. It's true that in particular this watch, which is already a very appealing watch in itself for its vintage look, has a completely different dimension when you flip it and you see the see-through sapphire back and this particular movement. You see the very big balance wheel, you see the frequency is really all very linked to the history of this particular place, and I would say to the very true spirit that you have into this place and that you can breathe since the very first time you come here.